Hi there, welcome back. How are you today? So, in the live stream, something really beautiful came up that I thought we'd share in this one. And it was about feeling unsafe. It's about when we don't like change. Now, what happens? Actually, it was really funny because Victor brought something up in the live stream that I had forgotten. He was saying that through his childhood, there were a lot of changes going on. And in that moment, it brought up, I remembered the first 6 years of my life, and it's in the first book, Your Past is a Gift. My parents, because of my dad's work, had already moved 13 times by the time I was 6. 13 times. So I was used to change. You know, it didn't happen at school, well, even at school. Because once I started year 1, my parents settled in to a neighborhood, and then my dad would travel far away if he needed to, but we didn't move anymore. You know, we'd started school and that was it. But even, in year 3, year 4, my mum put me into a Catholic school. So even then there was a change, you know. But I had forgotten that we had moved so many times because I was trying to work out, why is it that I'm so comfortable with change and it doesn't bother me so much? And my husband isn't. He hates change, you know. And we were talking about my daughter. She's just started high school and she doesn't like change either. It overwhelms her. She's been in tears for almost a week because she's lost all her friends and she has to go to a new place and there's all these different classrooms and all these different teachers, and she was just finding it all too much. You know, she just couldn't cope. And so, you know, I was sitting there wondering, why was I comfortable with change? But my husband's not, and my daughter's not. You know, I was trying to work out where the connection is, what's happening there. But it is, as a child, we've moved around so much. We're so used to things changing that we feel that this is the way it is, you know. Because I find, for me, if things are the same for too long, I get bored. I'm always learning new things or trying new things. It's like I can't stay still, you know. So, yes, I think it comes from there. It's a pattern in childhood, you know, or perhaps, you know, that we get used to change, or we get used to things not changing. We're not comfortable with them. It's our personality, you know, like my daughter. And my daughter is to the extreme that she doesn't let go of anything. You know, she has, her friends would come over, you know, from before she started high school. She had all these friends and they would come over and they'd be like, oh my God, you've got so many toys, right? And they'd think she was so spoilt. But it's not that. It's that we've got the same toys from, like, I'm trying to think how many Christmases and how many birthdays now. At least 8 or 9, because she won't let go of anything. Everything she gets to her is special and she can't part with it, you know. So that is her personality, bless her heart. And I'm of the mind of just, I can't take any of it with me, you know. So once I'm done with it, let it go, let it go, let it go. And for a long time, I was trying to teach her that attitude of let it go, unattached, let it go. It's, you know, let it go. You can't take it with you. And then I stopped because I thought, well, that's her personality. It's just the way she is. Why does she have to be like me? You know what I mean? Let her have her path. Allow others to be who they are and not who you want them to be. Or, you know, perhaps I'm looking at that and I'm judging that's bad. That's a bad thing, that she can't let go of anything. It's just her journey. It's neither here nor there, you know. When she doesn't like change and she gets overwhelmed, again, it's her personality. It's her journey. I have to allow her to go through this process. It's part of her experience without judgment. Just because I thrive on change doesn't mean that it's wrong for others. if they don't. You know, it's just their journey. Let them be. It's not wrong. It's not right. It's not anything. It's just who you are. It's just your journey. It's just your experience. So perhaps today, love that about yourself. Love that you don't like change. This is who you are. Love that you get overwhelmed if one little thing is out of place, if one little thing changes. My daughter even has these baby blankets from when she was 6 months old. And I can't throw them out because she still goes to bed with them. And she will ask and she will be very upset. And for me, it's disrespectful to just go into her room and take stuff and throw it out, because to me, it's her stuff. I wouldn't like it if my husband came and decided to rearrange my room and throw things out just because he doesn't like the way it looks or he wants this space for something else. We always ask at home, can we throw this out now? You know, every few months I revisit. Do we need to keep this? Can we throw it out now? You know, it's taking up a lot of space. Every time I look around, there's all her house, you know, her doll houses, and there's so many toys on the other side of this camera. This whole room, half of the room is her toys. And then her room is filled with toys and things that she just loves, that she doesn't want to get rid of. And perhaps, you know, I think to myself, well, you know, when other parents go in and clean out the rooms and they don't ask their kids and they do that, a lot of parents do that. My parents did that all the time. I was never asked. In fact, when I was little, I had this tiny little bear, would have been about that big, it was a tiny bear. And I had it until I was about 5, and it had lost one of its little glass eyes. And when my sister was born, my mum gave her my teddy bear. Now, I don't know how I reacted to that. I don't remember my reaction, but I remember many years later my mum saying she should never have done that. I think that must have been very hurtful to me at the time, that was my special bear and that she gave it to this new baby that I wasn't a part of. So, you know, and she had to live with that. But sometimes I think, you know, I see a lot of parents when there's clean outs and there's all these toys out, and I know a lot of them go in and take it out when the kids aren't there. They're at school. And they probably think they won't remember that it's there. My daughter remembers everything. And occasionally she'd come and go, where's such and such? And you'd be like, what? Like, where's this, I don't know, Barbie doll, say for example, and there's a particular Barbie doll, right? And we'd be like, we don't know. And then she'd find it. And I'd think, phew, can you imagine if I'd thrown that out? She'd be so mad at me right now. But for those that do throw out all the stuff without asking their kids, they're teaching them unattachment, because we can't take any of this with us, you know? It's not right or wrong. It's just that child's experience to learn that they come and one day it's there and one day it's not. You know, it's one day it's there and then the next day it's gone. And that's fine. They learn to live that way, not attached, because they can't take it with them. You know, whatever this attachment is that she has to all these things, my daughter, that's her. That's just her personality. It's her way. There's neither here nor there. You know, we're used to it now. That this is what she does. You know. But that goes for everything in life. You know, when we look at things, or even ourselves, when we look at ourselves and we think, oh, you know, why does this upset me? Or whatever, or why do I get overwhelmed with this? You get overwhelmed with this. It's your experience. It's fine. You know, it's not right and it's not wrong. It's just where you are. Just because other people can change easily doesn't make them better than you. It doesn't make you less than them. You know, I always look at my daughter and sometimes the things that she comes up with, and I always see her way beyond my years in wisdom. So I don't judge her little, you know, her little quirks, idiosyncrasies, I think they're called. Her little things, or my husband's, you know. Everyone has their little things. How they like things, or how they don't like things. It's just your human experience. It's not wrong. It's just how you like it, or how you don't like it, or what makes you happy, or what doesn't make you happy. You know what one person tolerates, the next person may not. And this is sometimes what makes friendships tricky. That you may think it's okay, but then you do that to your friend, or you say that to your friend, and your friend's like, hey, that's not okay. And so it's learning, you know, from each other. So, but it's not wrong and it's not right. It's just that you come from different backgrounds. You have different childhoods, different experiences. And what may be accepted in one house may not be accepted in yours. And so you have to have tolerance and not judge, you know, that just because it's different to yours, that it's bad or it's wrong. No, it just is different to yours. It's different to your experience. It's different to you, to what you're used to. But it never makes that other person less than. It never makes you better than them. It's just a different experience. Perhaps in another lifetime you came and every 5 minutes you were changing. So you decided, okay, in this lifetime I'm coming in and that's it. I'm not changing. I'm not even changing where I grow up. I'm going to stay there forever. I'm going to stay in the same little town. That's it. Because I've done enough changing in the past lifetime. I'm done with that. I've had it. And I just had a gorgeous realization. Because my previous partner had the same traits as my husband that I have now, in the sense that he didn't like change either. He hated change. And in that moment that I realized that, and I looked at my husband and how he is and how much he doesn't like things to change, I realized opposites attract. I love change. And he hates change. And we are here to challenge each other. Always. That's why some partners are so opposite in their ways. Because you're here to challenge each other. For the ones that don't like change, the one that likes to change is always challenging you. Come on, let's change it up a bit. And for us that love change, you know, our partners that don't like change challenge us in that way. I remember many years ago, we'd moved into this house and I was saying to my husband, why don't we just sell and go somewhere else? And at the time it was to get rid of the mortgage, and get rid of our debts and just start fresh somewhere new, you know, somewhere where we wouldn't have as much debt. And I remember him at the time saying, but our problems will go with us wherever we go. And I just remember in that moment, a peace came over me. This sense of peace that I was exactly where I needed to be, with who I needed to be, you know? And it was a really beautiful moment. Because the problem wasn't where we lived. The problem was more to do with managing money. I didn't have experience with it. I was never taught how to. And I never went to learn how to. I never went anywhere to get advice or guidance or how to manage money. And so I just kept following the patterns, you know, that my parents had set when I was growing up. And they weren't good patterns, you know, for making money. They were the opposite. They were a good way of how to lose money, how to drain money, you know, following their example. So, yeah, maybe today, you know, have gratitude for the partner that you have. Have gratitude for the beings in your life that are opposite to you, that are at opposite ends. They're there to challenge you. To move you out of your comfort zone. Gratitude. All right, my beautiful beings. So wherever you're at in your journey, remember those around you are serving you in every moment. And you are serving them. Right. I love you guys. Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages. And we'll see you in the next video. Share as well. You never know who might need this video today, this message. Bye for now.